Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. I think today is still quiet, but probably towards the end of the trading day, or you could say towards the end of the weekly candle, we might see a little bit of action, as it's commonly the case. I'm not going to talk about the daily chart. I did that in the last video yesterday, so feel free to check it out. Really just want to give you a short update. It's Sunday, the market is quiet and fully in anticipation mode. Next week, we expect ETF news. There have been quite a few videos of people about the idea that it's already guaranteed that the ETF will be approved. Well, I think it will, but obviously nothing is guaranteed until we really have approval. Nothing is guaranteed in this world. So be careful listening to those, because nothing is guaranteed. Everything just rumors, wherever they might come from. So we will not, we don't know. So all we can do is live in the present, trade in the present, and, just have a strategy for both scenarios. It's just normal risk management, okay? And just make sure you're happy with your position. All the stuff, I talked about that in yesterday's video. Just be happy with your position, okay? It's always difficult if someone has no exposure at all to recommend an entry, but typically what I can say, if someone has no exposure at all, sitting on the sidelines, waiting for a 5 or 10% drop. I mean, typically when you have no exposure at all, but you want to have some, there's typically not a bad entry. You just need to be aware that it's not that you go all in, right? So you still have to be very careful with how much you put in. Let's say if you buy now, if you're new, but typically you have to start somewhere. So, because I do sometimes get a lot of questions, I do get a lot of questions from people who are sitting on the sidelines, haven't got a position at all. And I mean, I can't give them advice, right? But my general view is if someone has no exposure but wants some exposure, yeah, get some exposure, but start small maybe, and then you can build on that. You can build on that. I think that's the most intelligent way of doing it. There will be people who go all in at once, but then think about that, because you're working through you're putting all your cash in, and then you have no money for opportunities available. So position sizing, cash management, very important when you're dealing with these markets. So, the situation is still that Bitcoin is likely in this fourth wave. Let's talk about the short-term bearish case first. Then we'll also talk about the short-term bullish one. Please be aware that both are embedded in an overall scenario in which our main support is around 34,100. Bitcoin isn't even coming close to that level at the moment. So the idea that we get one more high, okay, is valid, reasonable, and likely, as long as we're holding that $34,100 level. Typically for a wave 4, the ideal target is around here, in this case 36,360. It's the 38.2 retracement level. So ideally Bitcoin would actually gravitate towards that level, but doesn't need to. But it's sort of an ideal level for a wave 4. Now, I'd already be happy if it goes just a little bit lower, maybe towards 39,360. Just touch any of these fib levels in our support zone, but so far, Bitcoin avoided that. It hit, however, our target zone for the internal waves, okay, which was here defined between 41,233 and 38,580. That was sort of the initial target zone for the internal C wave to the downside. But really, it would still be a very shallow wave B if it's already finished, which, sometimes is the case in a bullish market. So let's talk about the short-term bearish scenario first. In this scenario, I mean, I think still it would look better, with another low. This could very well morph into something like a WXY structure again, because this gets quite messy and massive, this sideways action, but it's not doing anything we haven't talked about. I mean, already in my first video yesterday, I highlighted it might be a quiet weekend and we might see a more complex triangle form. And it seems to be a triangle. Nothing happened really on the weekend. In fact, volatility reduced. But what could it be? I mean, it could be that B wave, right? And that could form a triangle. And in the short-term bearish scenario, we have here a B wave top. Oops, not like that. We have a B wave top at 45,900. And that was the high that was formed on the 2nd of January. So we basically say wave 1 down, wave 2 up, wave 3 down, wave 4 up, wave 5 down. And then this is just the internal structure of the third wave. Basically, we're dealing here with an ABC structure because it's an ending diagonal. This is not impulsive on the way down. Okay, so that's just one way of looking at it. And this B wave could top or could complete at any time. It might have completed already, but it's not very evident yet. So I decided to leave the B wave here at the top until things are clarified. We have a few breakout points. So what we need to see to increase the downside momentum and get some clarity that we're coming down in the wave C of 3 is initially a break below that 42,450 level, which is the white B wave low. I've labeled it as B wave at the moment in the white count. But that swing low, if that breaks, that would indicate the yellow count is unfolding. Below that level, we've got $40,070. And then we've got the ascending trend line, and all of them need to be taken out to complete this C wave to the downside. If the C wave is already running, then it would also have to be an ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, that's sort of how the yellow count would work out. And it might be enough to get one more low, maybe two more lows towards, roughly the area around here, 39,360. In the short-term bullish scenario, we have it exactly the opposite. So the wave 4 could have bottomed already. Minimum expectations are fulfilled. I just don't see this move down as very complete. So it doesn't look very complete. So wouldn't I would be happy with another one or two more lows. Also from a purchasing point of view, because Bitcoin would nicely give us some more, lower prices for potential Bitcoin purchases. Well then, however, it could have finished this correction, and for me to believe that though, I need to see a break above that Tuesday, the 2nd of January high at around 45,900. And I would need to see all the 5 waves filled in. Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3, Wave 4, Wave 5. And again, we're dealing here with a diagonal pattern. And in this diagonal, the third wave is also likely unfolding, and also possibly the V wave within this third wave. Again, a C wave could have started, but it looks like, with this triangle price action, the B wave might still be unfolding. So it will be an interesting day. Possibly we see a little bit of a breakout, a little bit of volatility towards the end of the weekly candle. And then next week we should see quite a bit of volatility around the ETF news, even though we might not see that much until we finally get the news. Okay, so there will be maybe some nervousness, unreasonable volatility, so just be aware of that. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. You'll find the links in the description. On Insta and Twitter, you find content around the charts, some signals. You'll find some stuff about mindset, trading tips, and so on. So feel free to check it out. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.